No, but we may not want to.
Can somebody check Twitter to make sure we went live on Periscope? Make sure it's hooked up.
Let's go to it. It says we're live.
Yeah. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a SWBL league tweet?
Yeah.
Sweet. We're live. Hello, everyone. We're live. Whoa. Right. I want to go around the room, make sure everybody sees who's here today. Thank you for joining us. We got Kevin Poley right there. See him? There's Kevin. Kevin, the man behind the camera most of the time, but now he's on camera. There's Peter. Peter, Brewer Nation. Yes. And there is Gus with the Royals, and there's Brian. So, boys, thank you for joining us. You know, we always do the division draw every single year. So, thank you for joining us. This year we have the flags, courtesy of Trent Steffes, that will be we'll use to put in order. This doesn't take very long, but we want to give some time for people to join us on Twitter here. But a lot of good storylines, fellas. Yeah, a lot of good storylines. The big free agent signings. We had David Olderman heading to the Astros from the Brewers. So that should be an exciting matchup, whether it's the same division or not. And then we also have Brett Spencer, the big free agent signing going to the Expos from the Rockies. And then we got the draft coming up in March. So not much going on besides the division draw now, but we're excited to get the schedule going, and we'll get some of these podcasts rolled out. And how it's going to work is this. We are going to have in order the teams finishing from last year. We'll pick in order. The top tier, we have the Yankees, our champions from last year. They will be going first. Then we'll have the Royals, who lost in the championship for the third straight year. Will be going second, choosing second. Then you have the Rockies, who won't be actually choosing. It'll be whatever's left over in the top tier, two-time champion Rockies. Then picking first in the second tier. So those three teams will be separated into three separate divisions. Second tier goes as follows. You got the Twins, two-time champions. You got the Brewers, second tier again. And you have the A's, who are back in the second tier after being in the third tier last year. Shocking the world. Not much of a shock getting in the second tier. And then the bottom three teams, something crazy happened last year. They all had the same exact record. The Expos, D-backs, and the Astros all with the same exact record. And they all beat each other. So they all traded off beating each other. So it came down to run differential, which means the Expos will pick first. The Diamondbacks will pick second. And then the Astros will be left over with whatever team or whichever division is available. We're going to take this time to thank our divisions. What will happen is each person will come up and choose from our NWLA, rest in peace, the NWLA, no longer. National Wiffle is the new national scene in wiffle ball. Find your game at www.nationalwiffle.com. And now we have all three of our divisions here. We have Ketting Ice Center back at it with the Castellanos, Ketting Ice Center. It's where I go to get my eyes done. Anybody else as well?
Yeah.
Gotten glasses, lifers, yes. These glasses here from Ketting Associates, got them the day before tournament from last year. We also have, that was Ketting again, we also have Cardinal Blinds. Cardinal Blinds, Spencer Bogad's company that he works for. And Cardinal Blinds is, say some things about Cardinal Blinds. I actually just wrote a review on them on Google and on Facebook because they are a company that has already outfitted my home in 3 of my rooms for blinds, and one of them didn't work. And the blinds just didn't work, and they're working with us to get those replaced. So thank you, Cardinal Blinds, getting those replaced in our nursery. And they're working with us to a great company, a great family-owned company, and we're grateful to have them as a sponsor. And of course, Glendale, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. We thank all of the people at Glendale, and I actually just purchased my new Jeep from Glendale, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. So all 3 of these, getting the skivvy love. So I've used all 3, just purchased my Jeep from Glendale, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Great process with them, and I love my Jeep so much. So thank you very much, Glendale. So as we go on, all of these will be placed in here. We'll give it a nice twirl. How it works is this. We will have the top tier teams go first. We will have Kevin Poley that will first be choosing for the Yankees. And Kevin, come over here to the camera. Let's talk for just a moment because, the St. Louis Blues, world champions, Congratulations
Thanks.
on that, by the way. And we just hosted the All-Star game, and Kevin provided me with this lanyard, the All-Star game lanyard for the St. Louis Blues. And you work for the St. Louis Blues, and it was an incredible run for them. And I know you loved being a part of that last year. But was it bittersweet? I know you're gonna get this question, but was it bittersweet to not be here to win the championship? You were a very important part of the regular season run for the Yankees and got them to where they could compete for a championship. They came back, and they were the only team in the franchise era to win 3 playoff games. So it's pretty cool. We haven't had that since season 5, your first year in the league, and we had
my teammate.
Yes, we were teammates, and all 8 teams that year, for the first and only time, made the playoffs. So all 8 teams made the playoffs, and we did a tournament style all the way through. But was it bittersweet to, you're there for the world champion Blues, but also you could have been there for the SWBL champion Yankees series too. So what are you looking forward to this year the most?
Well, just to comment on that, I'm pretty sure I was on the plane to Boston when the Yankees won the championship.
Yeah.
And so I left St. Louis wondering.
Oh.
And then I landed in St. Louis finding out that we won the championship. I loved watching the celebration online. I loved hearing about it. But yeah, it's a little bittersweet. My name's going to be on the trophy for something I wasn't there to help win.
Well, and you were a part of the process. It's not that specific game.
Exactly.
And it was a very hard-fought game from both sides.
It's a great YouTube watch if you want to go on the SWBL YouTube channel and watch the game.
It was definitely one of the higher-scoring championship games we've had in a very long time. Both teams in double digits, and it could have gone any other way if Gus Gibby wouldn't have struck out, to end the game. So that's for sure.
I think he grounded out.
Oh, did he?
I watched it this week.
That's true. Ground out. Well, either way, he got out and ended our run. So anyway, we're going to move on. So the Yankees are going to be the first. How we're going to do it? We're going to keep it here on the whatever. We're going to do it in alphabetical order here on the bar. Yeah. So we'll have Cardinal Blinds first, because the C comes before G, and then Glendale, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and then we will have Kenning Eye Center on the edge. So I'm going to shuffle it up. Our first pick. This is big. I mean, this is size. This is big. Size schedule. Everything.
Hey, real quick before I pick, shout out to Sam Bakula in California.
Shout out.
Captain Scott Poley in Washington, D.C. Jackson was on a mountain somewhere recently.
Never know where he is at.
And John Calloway in Southern Missouri.
All right.
So those are the Yanks.
Very good.
Guys, this is for you.
Here we go.
And
really means nothing. You're just setting the precedent.
Yeah, here we go. And
you're in the division. Your division will be?
Cardinal Blinds.
Cardinal Blinds. There it is.
Blinds.
All right. The Yankees will be in the Cardinal Blinds division. Hey, you just move right back to the number 1 spot right here. Cardinal Blinds. You can keep that right there.
Right here.
And then I'll let Gus come over now. Choose on up for the Royals. All right.
Recent number 1 ranked player.
That's true. Gus, a couple questions here. I just mentioned, how did it feel to end the Royals run for the championship? The Royals have been stuck in a rut for 3 years, and after not winning a playoff game, not winning a playoff game ever, and then having 3 years in a row where they've been so close yet so far away. What can you say about the Royals?
It's not just 3 years; it's really the 9 years that we've been in the
franchise
era. That we have had a great regular season. We've made it to the playoffs, but we just there's always some little errors that ruin our chances. So.
And there's some big talk. Another one of the free agents that left the Royals team and is signed with the Twins is Corey McCarthy.
NWBL Rookie of the Year.
Yes, and Corey was named the National Wiffle Rookie of the Year, and we have not ever had a National Wiffle Rookie of the Year before. We've had a West Region Rookie of the Year in Ty Butler, but we've never actually had a National Rookie of the Year. And Corey McCarthy, well deserved. Yeah. A great bat for all of the Royals. And to bat 4th for the Royals and to hold his own and to be top 5 in RBIs, it's going to be a good addition for the Twins for sure. Yeah, and with Will Rath not coming till Monday, they were in a bind. So now pitching might be a little off for the Twins, but you can't deny that their hitting is going to be incredible. So enough about the Twins though, because we don't need to talk about them. They're not here. Let's do the Royals though. Here is the Royals pick, Gus. And this will be either in the Glendale, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram division, or it will be in the Kenning Eye Center division. Here you go.
All right.
Royals have won the championship in their division every single year so far.
Glendale.
And the Glendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, they have won that division before. They will be in the number 2 spot as well. You can hold it right up there. Very good. Thank you, Gus. And that means that the Rockies will be in the 3rd division, the Ketting Eye Center division. So thank you very much, Ketting, for coming back this 2nd year. So we have in the 1st tier, as a recap, we have the Yankees in the Cardinal Blinds division. We have the Royals in the Glendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And we have the Rockies in the Ketting Eye Center division. Now, it's kind of cool because all 3 of these are still in order, 1, 2, 3 from the year. Let's get going. Here comes the 2nd tier. I would like to call over Mr. Peter Light. Come on down, Peter.
Hey,
Peter is here to represent the 2nd tier. And Peter, you know, the big news out of your camp is you've lost David Olderman to free agent, and it was mutual. You know, it was one of those things where you respect David, you respect his gameplay, and he wanted to get some more at-bats, and the Astros could provide something that the Brewers couldn't. I know you're sad to see him go, and you wish him all the best of luck. You know, are you excited to face him on the mound? Have you ever really faced him on the mound? Anything?
Never really faced him. Definitely not excited, but, you know, we should have a pretty good scouting report on him. You would
True.
think.
Yeah, after so many years.
But he's one of those guys that you never like to face.
No, for sure. And he's going to be a nice addition to that Astros pitching rotation that now includes David Olderman and Cameron Smith. And then that leads me to my question with you, Peter, is your pitching rotation. You know, David was kind of that bona fide ace that you've had. And Kyle Cornell has always been kind of that under-the-radar sneaky ace for you. He's always had under a sub-5 ERA. But is Kyle going to step into that role and be your ace, most likely?
I think that's the plan, you know. He's got great numbers. Doesn't get a lot of innings every year.
Yeah.
So we really need him to step up, maybe eat up 20, 25.
For sure.
Going to look at PG to step up too. Should have Jimmy there as well.
Yeah, and that's
Maybe
the excitement.
We'll see.
The slow curveball.
And that's the excitement too, is hopefully Jimmy Stout can come out to more than just one at bat this year, and we'd love to see him on the mound with everybody. So it's cool to see the Brewers are evolving as well too, and see without Olderman, life after Olderman. And we're going to get started here. First up is going to actually be the Twins. So the Twins are going to pick their first division. This is the first time where we will see where a team will fall and who will be the first division foe for them in 2020. So all 3 balls are in here, Peter. Grab a hold of a ball and hold it up.
Glendale.
It is the Glendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram division. Gus, I've already placed it. It is going to be the Royals and the Twins.
That's McCarthy right there.
Royals and Twins. That is a big statement. Yes, Corey McCarthy going to the Twins. And the Royals and Twins are going to be a tough division, Peter. Already you see that. I don't know if any 3rd-tier team wants to be in that division right now, as you can tell. But the Twins and the Royals, huge rivalry going there. The Royals obviously eliminated the Twins last year in the playoffs, but the Twins beat the Royals the year before that in the finals. So it's going to be a nice rivalry, and they get to play each other twice, even before the playoffs even begin. So
all ex-Royals on the team.
All ex-Royals on the Twins except for Chris Metter. So it continues the rivalry. But also, you got to believe that some of these other tier teams are probably excited about this. Because what if both these teams split? And then other people can, and this is the beauty of the division draw, is teams like the A's, the Astros, the Expos, and the D-backs who have not made the playoffs in however many years since the A's were last in the championship. It's exciting to see these 2 teams that are powerhouses in the past couple of years in that same division, and hopefully even out the playing field a little more. And that's something that I love about the division draw and why we added this too, because anybody can truly get in. Just takes a little luck sometimes. Here we go. Now your team, Peter. I know this is exciting. Who out of these 2, Yankees and Rockies, who would you rather be in one with? And it could be a sense of rivalry, or it could be a sense of just skill-wise, you think you have a better matchup against them, or which one would you rather be in before we get started?
I'd rather not be with the Yankees.
Sure, champions, yeah.
I'd love to take it back to the old days with the Rockies.
And without Brett, you might have somebody else on the mound.
The real old
no more top gun.
Rockies.
Yeah, old school Rockies.
So.
All right. Well, no time to waste. Any shout-outs to the Brewers you want to make?
I want to shout out the entire team, current and past. Love you guys.
Very good. All right. Here we go. So we have either the Yankees in the Cardinal Blinds division or the Rockies in the Ketting Eye Center. Here we go. Whew. With the champs or with the 2-time champs? Cardinal Blinds. And there it is. The Brewers heading into the Yankees division. And you got to believe that Blake and Breida and BK and all of them at home are sitting pretty because not only have they lost Brett, but they also gain the only team out of these in the top two tiers that did not make the playoffs in the past couple of years. So that means that the A's will be with the Rockies in that in the Ketting Eye Center division. So Rockies and A's in the Ketting Eye Center, and also Paul Castellano in the Ketting Eye Center division for the first time since. So Castellanos are going to be loving that Paul is finally with the Ketting Eye Center division. So Peter, after looking at these so far, what do you think? The A's got to be loving this, right? Yeah. Not with the Champs, not with the Royals, who have had, well, I guess they've had some success against the Royals too. Not with Twins or Brewers, but with a Brettless Rockies team. And you got to believe the A's are going to try to sit pretty, maybe try to steal one from the Rockies. And the Rockies are going to try to defend that crown too.
I think the only thing that really needs to happen is we need the Expos over there to keep them with the Rockies.
That would be very interesting. And if the Expos were over here, to be honest with you, that could be a division that you could really see some drama. So who knows what's going to happen though. But we're going to put these away. Peter, thanks for being here. I'm excited to hear all about Peter's offseason. Peter's got some great stuff planned for this offseason with me, and we're going to get that started very, very soon. All right, next up, we got the third tier. I'm going to bring up Brian Benware. Mr. Brian Benware, come on down. Brian, let's first talk about the birth of your new son. His name is Brewer Benware. No relation to the Brewers, but not yet. Peter has expressed interest in trying to steal him away from the Astros farm system.
He already tried to sign a futures deal.
But Brian, we've already kind of talked about your offseason, and the past couple of years, I know you've always said like it's been kind of a whirlwind. It's always been like a revolving door of players.
Yeah.
And this year
we have the largest alumni roster.
You probably do.
And we've only been around for 4 years.
That is probably true. And you've done a great job at also, giving opportunities to some national players as well, and some to great success. Stephen Farkas, Zach Artem, 2 great Rookie of the Years for our league. But you've kind of gone back to the roots of St. Louis, and now I believe all your players are St. Louis bred, so to speak. And you have Cameron Smith, who joined last year, and he actually traveled with the SWBL Cardinals to the national tournament and did a great job there for us. And it's exciting to have him, and he saw his first glimpse of medium pitch. And while he got frustrated on how many home runs were hit off him last year in the medium style, his bat really helped you guys as well, too. Yeah. And just having him eat up innings and get that is great. But then this offseason, you went out and grabbed David Olderman, which, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, puts you in the top 3 category of pitching rotations in the league. You got to believe that it's going to be number 1. I still think is going to be your Expos with Brett and Jimmy, the reigning Cy Wiffle winner, and then Jimmy Nelson, who was just ranked number 12 in the SWBL top 18 players. You got to have the Expos there. Between the Royals possibly and the Yankees, you might have a second place-ish tie, but then the Astros also coming in and getting that David Olderman is going to be huge for you guys. So are you excited about that prospect?
Yeah, extremely. I mean, I think
team's excited.
Team's excited. It's a hitter's league, right? So pitching helps, but it's not. That's not what the focus of any team is. The home runs are going to happen even on the best pitchers.
Yes.
But I do think, we've been slowly each year whittling down that run differential of how we're losing. We're in a lot of close games, and I think this could put us over the edge to get some of these wins and kind of get some momentum rolling. But the challenge is going to be you got 2 great pitchers, 1A, 1B, however you want to put them, getting them the amount of innings that they need to get comfortable, to get rolling.
Sure.
Could be a challenge. So you got to keep that in mind.
And part of David's contract was hitting, correct?
Yeah, right.
And how many games total is he guaranteed to hit?
He's guaranteed to hit in 6 games.
Guaranteed to hit in 6, and it could be the games that he pitches, or it could be games that he just gets in to hit in different places. So we're excited to see how you can use David in those in that role, and it's exciting for him to get that opportunity as well. Yeah. So thank you to all of what your work has been the past couple of years in your franchise, and I know that all of your guys appreciate you doing a great job managing that team, despite the record may not reflect it. But I know your team loves the Astros and being a part of it. So, first up, we got the Expos. This is a huge pick, ladies and gentlemen. The Expos seemingly could steal a division from anybody with the best pitching rotation in the league. And like you said, it is a hitter's league. And but they have gradually grown each year in their offensive prowess, and it's going to be exciting to see what Brett can do on the Expos team. Let's see where they fall. There's a lot of storylines here. Go back to the Rockies division. Could it be in the Royals Twins division and to make probably the most difficult division we've ever had in the franchise era? Or could it go to the Yankees Brewers? And you know that Brewers and Expos rivalry is always a fun one too. Which one will they fall? Let's find out. Take your pick, Brian. Cardinal Blinds division. The Expos will fall indeed to the Yankees and Brewers, which is now, you got to believe, the toughest division as it sits right now. Depending on what happens here, you know, the Astros and D-backs will still add to the Royals Twins, and it's going to be a tough division. And you got to believe the Astros and D-backs are really wanting this division over here with the Rockies and A's. And that's not to say anything about a site. It's just going to be a much more competitive, just on paper, division. So for sure, Expos joining the Yankees and Brewers to round out the Cardinal Blinds division. Yankees, Brewers, Expos, and the Cardinal Blinds. That leads next. We have the Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks will either fall into the Glendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram division, or they will fall over here into the Kedding Eye Center division. Let's see. The Diamondbacks retooling. Trent's doing some retooling of his own. He's bringing back some big names in National Wiffle. Bunch of guys from Minnesota that might be coming this year. One big name that we're excited to see, his name's Evan Siddett. He has been nominated for National Player of the Year, and he is a really great guy. We love hanging out with him at the national tournament. He's always kind of had that Skippy mentality when it comes to the weekend, so we're excited to have Evan come on out, and he's going to do really great in this league, in my opinion. Pitching
Diamondbacks with the advantage of the National Wiffle Ball pool.
Exactly.
With our new rule from last year. So.
And a lot of it is still pulling from Minnesota, and they want to keep it, you know, a homebred thing from Minnesota too. But there's a lot of great leagues in Minnesota and a lot of good guys there too. So let's find out where the D-backs fall. Here it comes, Brian. It is the Glendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram division, which means the Royals, Twins, and Diamondbacks will have the Glendale division, and now we have the Rockies, A's, Astros. And Brian, you were very excited about that. But why are you most excited about this division rounding it out here, Brian?
I only have to see Brett one time. That's a big plus.
That's true. And you only see the Twins once.
Yeah.
I know you said you had some struggles against the Twins as well.
Actually, yeah. So if I'm looking at this, you know, some of the teams we historically do really poor on. We actually play the Brewers pretty tough a lot of times, but we have never beat them. So I'm kind of glad, though I love playing them. We have a lot of fun in that. I would call it a rivalry just because of the David issue this year, but we have a lot of fun playing them, and we still will for our one game, but not a lot of success. The Twins historically just rail us, so it's nice to not be in that division. You know, we definitely have not had success against the Rockies, but not played them a lot, and now it is a bit of a new one. Yeah. Granted, they are two-time champions, always consistent, always in the playoffs, but...
And, you know, something about the Rockies that people forget is they won a championship without Brett. You know, they have done it before, and for me to say that they are not going to be a playoff contender, like, no, they could be a championship contender still with this. So, Brian, thank you so much for being here. I'm actually going to bring Peter back up. Come back up, Peter. And Peter, we're going to do some predictions. You know, Peter predictions. It's an alliteration, PP, you know. So, Peter's predictions. Peter, let's take a look at these. And first of all, let's start with your division. You know, you... Are you a little worried? Are you concerned? You know, you shouldn't. You're not so concerned because you're confident in your team. But just looking at the overall landscape, is this what you wanted? The champs plus seemingly the best bottom tier division. I mean, it's got to be the worst position, right?
Do you think this is what I wanted? This is actually the one scenario I had at the bottom of my list.
I'm sure.
But you know, we'll be stronger for it. I think playing the Yankees twice and playing Brett and Jimmy twice could help us if we can sneak into the playoffs. I mean, we're going to be battling the A's and the Expos for sure for a wild card at a minimum. So this could be tough.
Well, and you got to believe, I mean, the Yankees they won the championship last year, but they've been so up and down the past couple of years with their success, their failures. Like, they keep going back and forth. There's one year they didn't even make the playoffs, and the A's made it instead of them. So, like, in the Royals, losing Corey McCarthy, and then having an unknown rookie commodity that'll happen in the draft, but having an unknown commodity there, and you have the Rockies who are losing Brett, like, this could be the craziest year of our franchise era, in my opinion. You could have some leagues that everybody could split, in my opinion, in some way. You could have a 1-1. I don't know if there'll be a lot of teams in a division that will go 2-0. But if you had to predict Peter, this is going to be difficult, but if you had to predict a champion from each division, who would you think? Let's start with over here. We'll end with yours. Who do you think is going to walk away with the Ketting Eye Center? And obviously, you would probably say the Rockies being the one that have the most success, but could one of these teams sneak by and get something going?
No, I think this one's most certainly the Rockies. I think it's the easiest division to pick. A's a little too unpredictable for me. The Astros, I think they're on the right track, but you got to give credit to the Rockies here.
Sure, and you got to believe a little bit of an edge offensively.
Chip on their shoulder.
And true, and offensively, I think that they still have it. Can you imagine giving Blake Spencer a full season of batting 4 players? Like, he might be the MVP this year.
Yeah.
Like, his numbers speak for themselves. Batting with 5. Imagine him now batting only with 4. Like, he could take over a game instantly. So yeah, the Rockies, you gotta believe, offensively are going to be that number 1 team. Pitching will be a question mark for them. The A's, the pitching's still going to fall on Luke Bakula and Paul, but you got to believe the Astros are going to have the best pitching rotation. But as Brian alluded to earlier, this is an offensive league, so you got to give the nod to the Rockies that's going on. But very even division for sure. All right, Glendale, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Tough one to pick. D-backs retooling. You know, they went from having 3 wins their first year, then they went to 0 wins, and then they went back to 1 win. And while they've only won 4 times, this year I believe could be their best year overall with the people that they are bringing.
Right. This one's tough. You know, it's hard to not pick the Royals, but that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to certainly pick the Twins. I think Corey McCarthy, that move is maybe going to be something that they may regret. The Twins did it with Jimmy Cole. They snagged him up in his second year. It looks like they're trying to do the same. It's going to be a battle. I bet maybe they split the season series, but I think the Twins, they got 5 guys. It might be awkward. Ed Lowe's posting on Craigslist for who needs my help? I've got services to offer. But they're going to have a lot of talent on that team.
Yeah, I think the Twins are definitely retooled with Corey McCarthy, and obviously with Will not being there till Monday, and they could even utilize Will on the mound once they get to Monday and then set themselves up really nicely. And as Chris Metter knows all too well, it's about how you get hot at the end.
Right.
And then, Peter, I'm not going to make you pick this one if you don't want to.
Pick this one. I'm going
to. Okay, you're going to.
All
right. All right. So the Cardinal Blinds division, and you can see a case for everybody here.
Mm-hmm.
The champs, obviously, the Brewers always there, and the Expos on the rise. So Cardinal Blinds division, who are you going with?
I will certainly give credit to the Expos. I think they're going to have a lot of low-scoring battles. I think they might shut you out for 3-4 innings, but in the 5th, some of these teams may stack 4 or 5 on them.
Sure.
So I think the Expos are going to do well, maybe make the wild card. But as far as the division, I got to stick with the Yankees, who, the Brewers have never won a division. So you got to go with the defending champs here. They're going to be riding hot.
Okay, so you heard it here. Peter went with the Rockies, Twins, and Yankees. We'll kind of show you the things at home for everybody so you guys can get a feel for it. But we got in the Cardinal Blinds division, you have the Yankees and the Brewers and the Expos. So we'll have that going. And the Glendale, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram division, we have the Royals, Twins, and Diamondbacks. And then in the Ketting Eye Center division, we have the Rockies, A's, and Astros. Make your picks, ladies and gentlemen, on social media. Who knows what this year's going to hold, but what we do know is season 18 will be very exciting. I will be in touch with all the captains to have the schedule starting to go. You got about a week and a half to get me all those conflicts that you might have, and then we'll be releasing the schedule hopefully by the end of February. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 2020 Season 18 Division Draw. I want to thank Gus, Brian, Kevin, and Peter for coming out. It's going to be an exciting one, folks. Stay tuned. Season 18, right around the corner. See ya.